Hello, my name is Erin Rial, and I'm a member of the planning team at CARES of New York. Today, I will provide a brief overview of creating a renewal project in ESNAPS. This webinar was developed specifically for COC membership, board members, and community stakeholders. CARES developed this webinar because we believe it is our responsibility as collaborative applicant to provide clear and concise information on the ESNAPS application submission to the full community to ensure the COC process is community-centered and transparent. CARES Webinar Series. Because the Notice of Funding Opportunity, or the NOFO, details a variety of important topics, CARES has produced a series of webinars to cover specific topics in more detail. Additional webinars include presentations on the following: NOFO Summary, HUD Priorities and the Consolidated Application, New Project Opportunities, DV Bonus Opportunities, Opportunities for Renewing Projects, our topic for today, ESNAPS Refresher for setting up a renewal project, and lastly, setting up a new project in ESNAPS. You can access all of these webinars on our website at cares-NOFO-2021 /resource C. The 2021 ESNAPS application changes. For those who plan to expand or consolidate their projects, they should anticipate to submit applications according to the bullets shown on this slide. Expansion projects will only submit a standalone renewal application and a standalone new application. Consolidated projects will only submit individual renewal project applications, identify the renewal application that will survive, and the renewal applications that will terminate. Up to 10 grants may be included in a consolidation. Today's presentation provides only a summary of creating a renewal project in ESNAPS in a brief and succinct format. Specifically, the presentation will discuss the 2021 changes and updates to ESNAP and the renewal application process. We'll detail the ESNAP's technical submission directions and review the application format. This webinar will not provide a detailed overview of the COC, the 2021 NOFO, or the 2021 renewal project application. As a reminder, HUD ESNAPS website you will use to log in is esnaps.hud.gov. CARES has provided a direct link to this page from our website by going to the CARES Planning NOFO page under HUD Resources. 2021 application deadlines. For renewal projects, please refer to the below dates for submission deadlines. Friday, September 10th, applications due in ESNAPS. Friday, September 24th, memos are sent to applicants from CARES with recommended updates. Friday, October 8th, all final edits are due in ESNAPS. In ESNAPS, there are 4 parts to submitting a renewal project application. First, you must update your applicant profile. Second, register for funding. Third, create the project. And fourth, complete the application and submit. Here is the first screen you will see when you go to the ESNAPS website. On the left-hand side is where you will put your username and password to log in. If you've forgotten your password, click the Forgot Your Password link below. If you keep trying a password, you'll end up getting locked out of ESNAPS. If that does happen, wait about 15 minutes and try again. Just a reminder, CARES does not retain any of the username or passwords for ESNAP users. If you do get locked out or forget your username, you can email HUD directly at esnaps@hud.gov. That's e-snaps@hud.gov with the request, and they'll be able to reset your information. Just as a reminder, eSNAPS can be painfully slow. And if you're not sure if the program is working, you should look to the top of your screen to see if the wheel is spinning. And if it's spinning, that means the program is working, but just taking a while to load.
This is the first screen you'll see when you log in. You simply press Accept to advance to the next page. After choosing Applicants, you will see this page. You will need to click on the orange folder, which is circled in red. It's worth noting here, the order of items under the Workspace tab follows the logical order of the steps to complete your project application. Before you can do anything, you need to fill out the applicant profile, which is essentially giving HUD information about your agency.
When you log into your applicant profile, you'll first see a section called Profile Type. Move your mouse to the left-hand side gray bar and click on Submissions. You will then click on the Complete button. After clicking that Complete button, the next page to show will be the Applicant page. Click the orange folder located under the word Open. This will return you to the applicant profile screen. Click on the Submission section to confirm that the button has changed to Edit. You'll start here because you need to first enable your profile to edit mode, as it is currently labeled as complete, as you can see in the image to the right. Now you're ready to update your profile. Click at the top of the gray bar to select Profile Type. After you have opened your profile, you will start at number 1 and work your way down. Numbers 2 through 4 will already have pre-populated information from the last application year. You will need to verify this information and make any necessary changes to your profile. For section 1, pictured here, Profile Type, Renewal Project applicants should select from the drop-down menu Project Applicant, and be sure to always click Save or Save and Next after you're done with a page. Otherwise, the information that you've inputted will be lost. Section 2, Organization Information. You will verify this information and make any necessary changes and click Save and Next. Authorized Representative Contact Information. On this page, you should simply be able to verify the pre-populated information and make any necessary changes. Take note that the authorized representative must be the person in your organization authorized to sign legal documents and legally obligate funds for the applicant's organization. Alternate contact information. You will verify this information and make any necessary changes before clicking Save and Next. Please note that the alternate contact is the person who can address matters in the absence of the authorized contact and who has knowledge of the project application.
Section 4, Additional Information. You will verify this information and make any necessary changes, or you'll complete this information from scratch if you've never received COC program funding before. Remember to click through all of the drop-down menus to answer the questions, and please remember to click Next to save your work. Section 5, Forms and Attachments. This first form is referred to as the 2880. You need to verify this information or complete the information from scratch if you've never received COC funding before. This form is long, and you will need to scroll down the page to view it in its entirety. As you scroll down, You'll focus your attention on Part 1 of the 2880. There are 2 questions that you will need to answer. For question 1, everyone is expected to select yes. For question 2, you will select yes if your agency is applying for any federal funds in excess of $200,000, including your COC program funding. To be clear, if your agency is applying cumulatively for federal funds in excess of $200,000, then you'll select yes to this question. If you select yes, you'll scroll down the page to complete parts 2 and 3 of the 2880 form. Part 2, also pictured on this slide and circled in red, is where you list any other governmental support that you're receiving. On Part 3 of the 2880, you'll list all of the other parties who are associated and have a financial investment in the project, such as developers, contractors, consultants, or subrecipients, if they receive an excess of $50,000 or 10% of the COC funds requested. Once you've completed Part 3, scroll down. Finally, at the bottom of the page, you will need to certify the information above by clicking the I agree checkbox. Review the name and signature directly underneath, and then click the Next button.
The next form you advance to is the Code of Conduct form. Direct your attention to the left-hand side gray bar where we've circled the Forms and Attachments section. If you have applied for COC program funding before, then you can expect that previously loaded documents from the last application year will appear in each section. If your Code of Conduct form is already on file, review the document by clicking on the magnifying glass icon underneath the word Download. As you upload or review the forms, please remember to click the Next button to save.
When completing the Survey on EEO Forms section, you will click on the link pictured here, which will take you to a separate page and includes a link to access the survey. You will need to download the form and upload it to this page, and then click Save and Next to advance to the next section.
This is the page that appears after you've clicked the name of the document. The link you'll use to download the EEO survey has traditionally been within the instructions section of this page, but the link provided within ESNAPS does not work. We've provided the correct link in the box to the left. We'll have this link underneath this video in our website for reference.
Next, you'll move on to Section 6, Submission Summary. This page will show you your progress and completion for each of the applicant profile sections. You must have a green check mark next to the pages that are labeled mandatory in order to click Complete and move forward.
Funding Opportunity Registration. The video here exhibits the steps you'll take for this section. You will click on the Funding Opportunities section within the gray left-hand menu bar. This screen will appear showing a list of various project application types. You will choose the Renewal Project Application FY21. You'll click on the icon to the left. This will advance you to the next page. Turn your attention to the second lower box where you are asked, are you sure you wish to register your organization? You will click Yes. After you've clicked Yes, this screen will appear and you can see highlighted in yellow and circled in red that the organization has been registered. You'll simply hit the back button to advance to the next step.
Next, you will click on Projects from the gray left-hand side bar. Once you have loaded the Projects page, direct your attention to the top of the page and click on the drop-down menu, circled in red, labeled Funding Opportunity Name.
Once the drop-down is open, scroll through the list to find Renewal Project Application FY21 as pictured here.
Your next step is to click on the icon in the left-hand corner of the table as pictured here. This is how you will create a new project.
Here, you will name your project as it is noted on the GIW and add the year 2021 to the end of its name. This keeps it consistent and easier to find year to year. The second thing you'll do on this page is import your data from the last year's application. So you'll use the drop-down box here to find the name of your project from the last year. And this will import all of the information that you submitted the last application year into this current project application year, which will make it a lot easier to fill out. Click the Save and Back button to advance to the next screen.
Your screen will appear like this after hitting the Save and Back button from the previous page. Your next step will be to select Submissions from the left-hand side gray bar. Once your submission screen has loaded, your first step is to click the Applicant Project Name drop-down menu and scroll through the list to find your newly created project name. After you choose the applicant project name from the drop-down list, click Filter. You don't have to fill out any other information before you click Filter. After hitting the Filter button, your project will appear in the table below. Because your program name will be unique, only one project should be listed here. Click the folder icon under the Actions column, as pictured in this image. This will open your new project application.
As a reminder, each part of the application has 8 sections. Depending on the project type you are applying for example, permanent supported housing versus rapid rehousing, can result in different subpages throughout the application. This is the first screen you'll see when you begin the application. At first, you're only going to be able to see Part 1. You must complete Part 1 in order for Parts 2 through 8 to open up. I will show you the screen progression of Part 1, and eventually you'll see how Parts 2 through 8 open up. You will review the following information on this page and simply click Next to move on. As a reminder, when working in the project application of ESNAPS, users can return to the main screen by selecting the Back to Submissions list at the bottom of the left-hand menu bar. This will return the main screen where users may access the applicant profile, funding opportunity registration, projects, and submissions. Application type. Review the following information on the screen and then click Save and Next to move forward. Make sure you have followed all the directions in red. Take note that the Federal Entity Identifier and State Application Identifier require no action and can be left blank.
Legal Applicant page. This page will either autofill information for you to review, or you will need to complete these fields from scratch. Scroll down to hit the Next button to save your work. Applicant details. Again, complete these questions and hit the Next button to save and continue. Congressional districts. Here you will see 3 rows of charts. To complete questions 14 and 16A and B, first you must select your answer to the question from the first box and then click the second button from the row of gray buttons in the middle in order to move the selection into the box on the right. Scroll down the page after you have completed this action for both questions 14 and 16A and B.
After you've filled out the above charts and scrolled down, questions 17 and 18 appear. Question 17 asks you to indicate the start date of your proposed project. The start date you choose must be a date in 2022. Your end date should be 1 year from your chosen start date. For example, if you choose April 1st, 2022 as your start date, end date will be May 31st, 2023. CARES recommends starting your project later in the year if possible, in the event that HUD contracts for that year are delayed.
As you complete the questions on this page, remember that everyone in New York is subject to an executive order. With that in mind, click the drop-down menu for the first question and choose B as pictured here. Next, move down to question 20. Click the drop-down box to answer. Question 20 is based on your organization. Click the Save and Next to move on. On to the declaration form. You will start by selecting the I agree box, then fill in the information or review the information if it populates for you. And lastly, you'll hit the Save and Next button to move on.
The next page is the 2880 form. This will mirror information from your applicant profile. You shouldn't need to fill anything out on this page. Just review the information and scroll down. As you get to the bottom of the screen, be sure to check I agree to certify the information you reviewed above. And don't forget to click Save and Next before you advance to the next page to save your work. The HUD 570 form. The fields throughout this form should pre-populate your organization's information as this is a renewal application. As you scroll down the HUD 570 form, you will first check the box that you certify the information provided is correct. You'll review the information below or complete the information in full. Lastly, you'll click the Save and Next button. Certification regarding lobbying form. You will need to click the box certifying all of the information is true and correct. Review the information in the fields below and click the Save and Next button.
Disclosure of lobbying form. First, you will select from the drop-down menu to answer the first question, and then you will review the information below. Based on how you answered the first question, the next question will appear on the form. Scroll down your page to view the information in its entirety.
First, you will certify by clicking the checkbox. Again, review the information below and click the Save and Next button. Assurances for non-construction programs. You will review the information on this page and scroll down to the bottom to check the certification box to indicate that your organization's authorized representative has reviewed and assures the above. Click the Save and Next button to advance to the next screen. The final page of Part 1 allows you to view a summary of all the sections. Note the column on the left that says Complete and the column on the right that says Mandatory. Items marked as mandatory must be checked as complete before you will be able to submit your application. To complete the application, you will need to fill out a total of 8 parts. We just reviewed how to complete Part 1 of the process in ESNAPS. Only after completing all of Part 1 will the rest of the application open up. We've pictured for you here the progression of your left-hand side gray bar. The left picture shows Part 1, and the right picture shows Part 2, which will open up after you complete Part 1. Once you have completed Part 1, you will move on to the remaining parts of the application, which will require you to respond to questions about your organization, provide details about your project, including relevant data and performance measures, and provide narrative information that directly responds to the 2021 Notice of Funding Opportunity. For these sections, CARES strongly recommends that you utilize the Renewal Project Application Detailed Instructions to view what specific information should be included in each question and section for the remainder of the application. If you need more technical assistance completing your application through ESNAPS, check out the HUD Navigational Guide for renewal projects. You can find this information online at the links provided on this screen. CARES also provides a webinar to walk you through the detailed instructions for renewal project applications. So check our webinar section of our NOFO page.
Thank you for participating in our webinar series, and please do not hesitate to contact anyone on the CARES planning team with any questions or concerns. Thank you.